right, thanks everyone for joining us this morning. We're here with head coach Jeff Traylor. Use the raise hand function and wait for me to call on you for questions. JJ, you can get us started.
Jeff, what were some of your big takeaways after watching film from this past week?
Just about what y'all saw live. I mean, we just were really good on defense, really good on offense, and really good on special teams. A total complete game.
Is that the best game we've seen out of your team this season?
This season for sure. I don't think it's even close, honestly.
Greg.
What about beyond this season?
Oh, I don't know about that. That'd be there's been some good ones through the years, so probably for the opponent as good as they were, you'd have to put it up there somewhere. I'd have to go back in time to think about all that, but I know that UAB team was really, really good, back in the day. But we barely won too, so that's a great question, Greg. Y'all probably have some things y'all have already thought about there and have better answers than me, honestly, though.
One of the things from this game we didn't talk about immediately afterwards was the play of Shad Banks. What sort of stood out about what he brought in that game and really through the year, what he's done for your defense?
Yeah, what an amazing story, right? You'd swear he's one of those kids like we're celebrating his senior night, and y'all are going to feel like, man, he's been playing here his whole career. He's already made so many plays, and he's only been with us one season. And he's just such a neat young man. His smile, just his energy, his leadership. He has epitomized what a zero should be like in that jersey, man.
You mentioned the seniors. How are you guys celebrating them this week? What does that kind of plan look like for your group?
Yeah, same as always. Their parents will be out there, their family members. We'll honor them before the game, and we're having Thanksgiving for everybody Wednesday night. So we'll get to spend some time with them as a staff and a team, and had some boosters step up that I'm very grateful for that paid for those kids to have a good Thanksgiving dinner together.
I hope I'm not missing anybody here, but it seems like Dan Dishman, Demetrius Allen, and Jaron Randall are the guys who you recruited here out of high school and played here 4 years. Do you kind of reflect on or celebrate those guys any differently just because of how rare that is nowadays for someone to spend that long at a school?
We talked about it yesterday. Even Robert Henry. I mean, I know he came from JUCO, but he stayed, right? Those guys chose to stay. They are helped developing a room. You can see how Robert's led Will and the influence he's had there. It's kind of the way it used to be. But we also are really glad we had Shad and Kendrick Blackshire and, Kamar, Missouri, some of those kids that came in here. I've had Trevor for one season, and what a joy he's been, that left guard, Trevor Timmons. I mean, and I know we could go on and on and on about these seniors. Kale, our punter. I mean, we had Isaac, our deep snapper, only had him 1 year, but just super kids that have come in here and really bought into our culture. And I know y'all are probably tired of hearing me say what great kids they are, and I know y'all would love for me one time to say we had a bad practice and they didn't want to be here. It's just never been that way with this group. And I know y'all are probably sitting around, I don't know, thinking, yeah, you keep saying all that, when we were going to see some benefits of all this. And I think you're starting to see the team turn and see what I always thought they could be.
JJ.
Jeff, what did you think about the play of your offense this last week?
Yeah, I thought they were very efficient. Just their effort was unbelievable. Just gritty. You tell me we're going to play without our tailback, our number one tailback, our number one wide receiver. We're going to lose our starting right guard and our backup right guard. We're already playing with our starting right tackle, but DeAndre's played great. Then our left guard got hurt. Then our left tackle got hurt. And we played without Dan as well. I don't know if anybody would have guessed with all those people out, even with our starters out there, would we have guessed we'd played that well versus East Carolina, a top 10 defense in the country.
I wanted to ask you about, for lack of better terms, the gadget plays. You guys have been pretty successful on those. What do you think has led to that? Are they just each one's a little different?
Oh, just kids executing plays. I like to have fun. It's always been kind of the thing I like to do, and kids enjoy them. And I know defensive coaches because I've coached defense before too. You run one of those things, and they're going to work on the heck out of them all week. And very rarely do we run the same one a couple of times in a row, but those always work because they think you're not going to do it because you just did it. So it's just they just been hitting right now. I mean, we had another one in the game and Patrick fell down, or it's a touchdown too. So just fun. I enjoy them. It's one of my sayings. Will Stein still uses it to this day. You can't score if you don't try. I mean, you got to score to try. You got to try to score, man. You can't just run inside zone the whole way down the field and throw hitch routes. That's boring. I don't enjoy watching that personally.
Jeff, what did you think about the play of Will Henderson, his first start as a young back, and you guys used him a ton?
It doesn't surprise me. It's who Will's always been. Huge fan of Will. Love that kid. Really happy for him.
Greg.
Jeff, we learned after the game that part of the motivation for your guys was something one of the ECU players said apparently on a podcast. And I know after Tulane, there were some similar situations with things that you guys found and kind of leaned on leading up to the game. I'm just curious, can you take us through, how do you find that stuff and how do you use it with the group to get some extra motivation?
Oh, every team's doing it. I mean, it's just we just have coaches assigned to watch it. So it just helps with practice motivation. I don't know if it does anything on the game day, but I believe it helps in practice motivation.
Do you think there's any reason that your players respond to that sort of thing as passionately as it seems like they do?
We're no different than any other team. That's just football. You're just it's a long season, man. You're trying to find some reason to keep them going. So anything you can do to get them to want to practice. The key is practice. Practice makes permanent. Perfect practice makes perfect. You don't practice correctly, you don't play correctly. So you're always looking for some kind of an angle, especially this type of year, this type of season, and this time of season. You're just trying to find a reason to keep them going.
You talked about some of the injuries already today. We saw Kamar Missouri and Daryl Jones both go down. Does it look like they'll be out for an extended period, or what's the outlook there?
Saturday, there'll be an injury report right before the game. That's really nice that Tina Pernetti, our commissioners, let us do that so we could answer all y'all's questions the same. But thank you for your concern for our children.
Right. Yeah, we're not going to know exactly how Davion Hurth is doing along those lines as well, but I did want to ask about kind of his development. It seemed like he came in here, and even this year is listed at 255, and I know he played some snaps at fullback for you guys. Yeah, what's it been like the last couple of years, like his development and how you brought him along to get him to the stage he's at now?
He's just a really competitive young man that obviously we've got to, put some weight on him and get him bigger and stronger, but he's a really good ball player. Went out there and played his tail off. The few snaps he got to play before he got hurt, he was competing now.
Was he was listed at 295 last year? Is that just a generous roster listing, or was he actually heavier then that he is now?
No, it's all accurate. Yeah, he got sick and he lost a lot of weight, and he's just trying to get it back. I told him what a terrible thing that is, that he has to eat all he wants to. I wish that happened to me just once.
We hadn't seen his name pop up on the depth chart. I know he's been in a couple games this year. What was it that he showed you in practice, or how did he kind of earn the opportunity to go out there in this spot?
Heck, Greg, we're out of people, buddy. We're putting anybody out there right now. But Davion's a good ball player. He's just young and he's small, but he's a really good ball player. We put some weight back on that kid. He's going to be really special for our program. Great kid, competitive, love him. Nothing negative to say about Davion at all. But that's where we are right now. We got to get whoever's out there, we're going to put them out there. And Davion went out there and answered the bell like all of them did. Every one of those kids, when they got their opportunity, Jonah Miller went out there and competed his tail off. His first time out there in real action, and playing with a broken hand, with a cast on, and just competing. Guys that lose 40 pounds and guys that have casts on, that you don't really want those guys on the O-line until, Davion gets bigger and stronger, but he just knew he had to go, and he played his tail off. And Jonah wished he didn't have a cast on. He wished his hand wasn't broken, but he had to go. We were out of people.
Jonah's kind of an interesting story, too. I know he coming in here. We talked about how he had lost a bunch of weight and had to kind of rebuild his body. What has the process been like with him the last couple of years?
Very similar to what Davion's going through. Jonah's been through it, right? And Jonah's on the other side now. It goes back to our nutritionist, Paul. He just does an amazing job. Our strength staff has done a really wonderful job. I'm really proud. I know I complain a lot about us investing more, But we have invested since I've been here in 6 years. The commitment Dr. Compost has made to our nutrition. We actually have one for our Olympic sports now, and we have one for our football team. And that's what I talk about. I mean, that's where you got to get to, right? If we're going to really play with the big boys, and her commitment to that and getting that done, and Paul and just Christine, who's also on our staff, she's really taken a lot of interest in making sure Paul has what he needs for our players and our Olympic sports as well, to help them just get their body fat percentage correctly, their diet correct, and I'll give a lot of credit to our athletic staff, Paul, strength staff, Dr. Compost, Christine, Maria, all those people for helping our kids get where they need to get to physically.
JJ.
Jeff, it seems like the last few weeks we've seen an uptick in tight end use. What do you think has led to kind of more production out of that group?
Just opportunity. I mean, it's just the progression. We've been throwing the ball down the field really good, scoring guys on big plays, and if you'll look, when we're running deep, they're running out of there. So the check downs have all been there, and a lot of underneath stuff, and the tricks have kind of gone through them a little bit, and some delay stuff, some screen stuff, just some underneath stuff because everybody's playing our receivers. You know, AJ and Devin have had real success at getting down the field lately, and that's got people backed off.
I wanted to ask about the play of Owen. I think he has as many touchdowns right now as he did all of last season. What have you seen out of him?
You can just tell he's healthy again. I don't know he's 100%, but he's a whole lot closer to 100 than he was 70, which is what he's probably been playing at all year, if that. It was really good to see him take off running. I told him he looked like Michael Vick, the old lefty running around out there. It was just good to see. Looked like an athlete sliding. I mean, just didn't look like a stoved up, broken old man like his head coach running around.
Greg.
Jeff, as we look ahead to this week, what is it about Army that has allowed them to have some success against you guys in the Alamo Dome where really very few other teams have?
Just the way they play. They play everybody close. It doesn't matter. They've had 7 one-possession games this year. They lead the country in time of possession over almost 37 minutes. This is their hometown. I mean, they'll have a bigger crowd than we will probably Saturday. They're coming to a home game on the road. That's pretty cool. And I really need our fans to show up. We've got to match that. And I'm thrilled that we're Military City, USA. I am. But for this one Saturday, I got to have the Roadrunner fans outdo, the Army fans. And it's always loud when they come. Their crowd shows up and they get after it. And they play a really good style of football. Man, what Jeff Munkin's done there for how long he's done it is really remarkable.
Anything else for Coach Traylor this morning? All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank y'all. God bless. Birds up.